My name's Dan, and I'm one of the physics teachers at Rochdale Sixth Form College. I'm going to talk to you about what you can expect if you come and do the physics course at RSFC. Okay. First of all, what is physics? Well, physics sets out the rules and laws that govern how everything behaves in the world around us, whether that be the cars that we're driving, whether it be the phones that we're using, the computers that we're using, the TV that we're watching, or whether it be something else, like on a smaller scale, the particles, how they behave, how the matter that makes up everything in the world around us interacts with all the other bits of matter. Okay, that's what physics sets out to do. Now, if you come and do physics at RSFC, you'll be essentially doing the stuff that you do at GCSE, but in a little bit more detail, or quite a bit more detail, in fact. And in fact, we'll be adding a lot more maths to what it is that you've done at GCSE. So it's kind of more of a quantitative look at the various ideas that you've looked at. Okay. The great thing about this, and the great thing about looking at physics in this way, from a mathematical perspective, is that you can do some calculations and use that to make predictions on the way that objects behave. And that's in reality what physicists do in the real world, when if you were to become something like an engineer. Okay. In terms of the topics, it's really the similar topics. You know, we'll cover electricity, we'll cover waves, we cover mechanics and materials, gravitational fields, we look at thermal physics, you know, heat, but we look at it in more depth. We'll also be looking at particles and quantum physics, which is the physics of what happens on a very small scale, what's happening to the protons, the neutrons, the electrons, and also to the particles that are even smaller than that, these things called quarks. Okay, which is probably something that you haven't done at GCSE. In terms of assessment, physics is assessed across 3 exam papers, which you'll sit at the end of 2 years, or at the end of your 2nd year. The first paper being all the stuff or covering all the content that you've done in the 1st year of the course. The 2nd paper and the 3rd paper covering everything that you've done in the 2nd year. Okay. The 3rd paper is a little bit different because there's an optional module on that, which we do on astrophysics. So there's a little bit of astrophysics in there, and also on the practical skills. So you'll actually be asked questions about how you would go about performing or carrying out various practicals, some of which you will actually do yourselves as part of the course. There'll be 12 practicals that you will actually complete during your 2 years at RSFC. But it could also be on some other practicals, theoretical, and you'll have to apply the practical skills you developed to the questions on said practical skills. Now, in a typical lesson, what you can expect is that I will go through the key ideas and the key concepts, and then we'll use those concepts and apply them to various scenarios. Okay. Often involving mathematical calculations that will allow us to work out how systems behave in certain scenarios. We run 2 trips per year. One of them is to the Large Hadron Collider in CERN. Now, this is a particle accelerator that essentially smashes particles together. It's situated 100 meters below the Earth's surface on the border between France and Switzerland, and is 27 kilometers in circumference. This is actually at the forefront of physics today, in the sense that many discoveries have come from this LHC at CERN. In fact, one of the byproducts of the Large Hadron Collider and the work that's going on at CERN is the internet. Without CERN, we wouldn't have the internet as we do today. The other trip is an Engineering for You trip, where we go to a center and we meet up with various engineering firms, and they explain the different branches of engineering, because that is one of the careers that a lot of people who study physics go into one of the branches of engineering. So that gives our students a very good idea about what to expect from engineering. Okay, in terms of careers, physics or the physics A level leads to some of the most highly paid and most employable careers out there. Okay, the three main fields are engineering, computing, and finance. Okay, and physics is a necessary A level really for if you're looking for any career that involves engineering, computing, or finance. Okay. Finally, I want to just give you a little practical, something that you can perform at home to wow your friends or your family. Now, I've got here a glass and a Pyrex measuring glass, okay? And this is a really cool magical effect almost, okay? Where if we were to pour vegetable oil in this glass, you can see it's filling up the glass, and it's easy enough to see the glass that's in the measuring cylinder. But as it overflows, the glass appears to disappear. And you can do this at home if you get two glasses. This is actually due to the fact that both materials, the glass and the vegetable oil, have the same refractive index. Okay, but hopefully you can see that it appears that the glass has actually disappeared. Can you see that? It looks like there's no glass inside the cylinder, but of course you can see the top of the glass sticking up. But in the main bulk of it, it appears to have disappeared. Magic. There we go. Anyway, that's your experiment for you. Thank you very much. And okay, thank you.